Hey, what's up guys? It's the Cypher Slacker, and I've got for you Neos' Crotch. Just kidding. This is an extended version of the deck profile. So I just want to explain my ratios and kind of justify what I'm playing, and then also potentially educate on the subject. So I am playing 3 vanillas, 1 Neos, 1 Avion, 1 Percentrix. And you could theoretically cut down either 1 Avion or 1 Percentrix, but I would definitely advocate for playing another vanilla that is not a light target. Because if you open, like, certain hands will have you summoning out Neos, but then if you don't have another target in hand, you're kind of cooked and you can't really fuse. So if, okay, you have the light, or sorry, the wind or the fire target, you then are able to keep playing. So I'll show you a hand as an example in a little bit, but 2 copies of the Spirit of Neos, as I don't really advocate for playing Honest Neos. I don't think it's good. I do like Spirit of Neos because if you get attacked and you have 1 in hand, you can basically save your game by summoning him out. It's not always going to come up, and typically it will get negated if your opponent is in that good of a position. But if they're in that good of a position, they're probably going to win anyway. So again, it is nice to kind of have that, like, catch your opponent off guard type of surprise thing. Stratos, I do not advocate for 3. I think 3 is too much because we're on 3 Hero Lives, 3 E-Call, 1 Rhoda, Ian Shuffle. You know, we have enough Stratos. We have enough access to Stratos. We don't need a 3rd copy of it. I would actually advocate for you to play more copies of things like Crosskeeper, Fake Hero, and then Rhoda. So you basically have 5 cards that are going to allow you to special summon from hand. So that means if you see Stratos, you go Stratos, search the Spirit of Neos, and then you special it out with either Fake Hero, Rhoda, or Rhoda to get into the Crosskeeper, or one of your Crosskeepers in hand. I am kind of thinking about, if we do get new support, cutting Blazeman, Liquid Soldier, and Prisma. But for right now, we don't really have enough ways to 2-card combo. So you kind of need the Prisma, you need the Liquid Soldier for potential draws, and then you need the Blazeman if you don't see Ian engage Neospace. Now, if we had a good normal summon that could straight up, normal summon and then search Ian engage, or normal summon and get us straight into Spirit, I would advocate for cutting Blazeman and even Liquid Soldier, because you're not going to need that draw gamble anymore. Drawing 2 cards in Yu-Gi-Oh is never bad. However, it's in this deck, it's more of a gamble. The 1 Shadow Mist, I would also like to see new support that kind of replaces this. This is literally just your pitch searcher. You're going to want to pitch this off of Engage to actually get your Prisma. Then you're going to want to use your Prisma to pitch it to activate Aqua Dolphin's effect. So I'm going to basically show you guys just the bread and butter 2-card combo at the very end of this video. So stay tuned. If you want to skip to the end of this video, feel free to do that. Because that will kind of explain just why I'm playing what I'm playing a little bit more. 1 Aqua Dolphin, 1 Dark Panther, 1 Grand Maul. In and of themselves, these cards have decent effects. Aqua Dolphin to discard a card from your opponent's hand. Dark Panther to target something to effectively, if your opponent has a negate on board, you can bait the negate with Dark Panther. And then you can go into battle phase and then non-targeting, non-destruction removal off of Grand Mole. And I happen to be playing the 2 fusion deployments, so you can actually get these guys out. And then, like, going second, you can get these guys out. And then you can actually just straight up, do what you need to do. So it's not bad. I mean, they're not the best. I would love to see, Neospatians get retrained, or just make a brand new Neospatian that assists the older ones. I'm playing 3 copies of Crosskeeper. I think that you need 3 copies. Not really much to say about that. If you'd like to decrease these to 2, you can. But I like to see, because we don't have our version of Samsara D Lotus, which, if you don't know what that does, that's a normal summon for Yubel. You normal summon it, you tribute it off, you summon out the Spirit of Yubel. We need a card like that. We have to have, like, basically 2-card combos to facilitate anything. 2 to 3-card combos to facilitate really anything. 3 Hero Lives, self-explanatory. It's E-Telly for heroes. Pay half your LP, special out of Stratos. Really no debate on that one. E-Call, I know a lot of Omni Hero decks don't run this anymore. And even a lot of Cosmo Neos decks don't run this, but this plus EN Engage is full combo. It's not a hard once per turn. It does suck if you get hit by Droll, and that's kind of where I'm going to go through and, like, you know, explain what to activate, when to activate it, and what to do if you get Drolled. EN Shuffle, this card is basically our way of getting into Spirit of Neos that's not EN Engage Neo space. I do like this card at 3. I've played it at 2. It doesn't really hurt to play it at 2. You can kind of do either or. But I just feel like we need that extra way of seeing, you know, a card that can get us to Spirit of Neos. Because I feel like the deck does kind of live or die by Spirit of Neos. In Engage Neo space, this card is your best starter. It does lock you out of links. So if you're planning to make some sort of evil hero Cosmo Neos mashup, stay tuned, by the way. Stay tuned. Because I'm going to actually be putting something out like that very soon. This does cut you out of links, but it does get you to a poly, and it does get you at least a Spirit of Neos body on board, and then a search. And then if you had a Shadow Mist or a Neospatian in your hand, pitching one of them will pitch the other from deck. So you're getting, basically off of this card, you're going 1 on board, you're getting a poly, and then you're getting the Shadow Mist to grave, which is getting you a search. So you're basically going +2 off of this card. So it's very, very, very good. Having said that, you do have to search the poly. So this is kind of your Vision Hero increase situation for the Cosmo Neos deck. I advocate for playing 2 poly, because if the odds of you seeing 2 in your hand, I think, are a lot smaller than seeing 1, like opening this and opening this, are a lot smaller than opening this, and this at once. So, having said that, I would advocate for 2 poly, because I always did play 2 increase. When I played Omni Hero before I got bored of it and just like sold off my Vision Hero pieces, I did play 2 increase. I always thought that increase should be at 2, because if you see 1, you're screwed. You can't play the game. You can't do the main thing that your deck wants to do, and I mean, just 1 extra slot for it is not going to kill your consistency. Fusion deployment, this is basically, you can kind of look at this as a way to either 1, bait out a hand trap by your opponent ashing this, or if this goes through, you are able to get out into the Aqua Dolphin and then take a look at your opponent's hand, see what they've got, pitch something out of it, and then keep playing from there. Or it's just an extra Neospatian. So like say you do get hand trapped and you just need 1 more Spatian to get into Cosmo Neos, you can activate it and go from there. It is something that if we did get new support, I would consider cutting. But I don't foresee us getting anything anytime soon. Maybe in the second half of the next series of Yu-Gi-Oh! Packs, we might. Because I'm kind of hoping that this whole series is just all protagonists. Like, just do the main 6. Just run through the main 6. We're starting with Yuma. I think it would be cool to just kind of, you know, do Yuma and then kind of go back, maybe do like Jaden or Yugi and like Yusei. Kind of go from there. Because I feel like the last series really didn't focus on the main pack, or the main protagonist for each pack. It was kind of either like Yugi instead of Dark Magician, you know, Exodia. What else do we have? Sharks. Like we had a lot of like side characters and or like you Bell instead of Jaden. Like hopefully the next set is just all pro tag support. But enough about that. 1 Miracle Fusion, because you don't really need 2. It's searchable. Instant Contact, kind of for that same reason. And Instant Contact is something like this basically becomes imperm because we're running Dark Neos. So if you're going second and you have a Neos engraved, you activate this, you can negate something on the field. 1 Rhoda, just because it's pretty versatile. Can search a Neospatian, can search a hero, can search Crosskeeper. 1 Called by the Grave. 1 Fake Hero. 1 EN Wave. It is one of your most important combo pieces that allow you to facilitate a 2-card combo. And Favorite Contact. So, guys, that is it for the main deck. I do want to just take a quick second and show you guys what I mean about consistency. So, if we're looking at the deck, okay, we are looking at We want to see either a Hero Lives. We want to see, you know, any of these cards will do. Any of these cards. Stratos, Spirit, EN Wave. We need that. And then like a Neospatian or two. So basically our structure is very simple. We need to get to Cosmo Neos, and I'm going to discuss the extra deck after I explain this. So basically you want to open up with either Stratos or some way to get to EN Engage or any variation of that. So if you open up, say, Stratos with perhaps Crosskeeper and then a Neospatian, you're set. Again, or any variation of this. This could be Rhoda. This could be a Hero Lives. I'm pretty sure Stratos and EN Shuffle. I have to double check. I'm pretty sure Stratos. No, you would need. Let me see. Stratos and EN Shuffle. I think would be full combo. I do have to double check on that because I may be wrong. But I'm pretty sure Stratos and EN Shuffle is a 2-card combo. So like I said, I'm gonna practice combos and I'm gonna showcase those. But basically, this is kind of like your bread and butter. You need some variation of this or some variation of this, and you're looking at Cosmo Neos lock. So like I said, stay tuned for the very end of this video. I am gonna run through the 2-card combo after I show you the extra deck. So we got our Jaden tokens, of course, because we're playing a character deck, kind of. You do need Divine Neos to make this 2-card combo, and the bricks. I'm going to show you guys the bricks real quick. In order to access this via 2 cards, you need to play these. Divine Neos, 100%. You cannot cut this. You do need the EN Wave, and you do need the Elemental Hero Prisma. So these are kind of non-negotiable. A majority of the other cards in the Hero deck are pretty standard. Especially for like Cosmo Neo. So like, you do need Shadow Mist, but I don't think anyone's debating about running Shadow Mist. You do need EN Engage, but I don't think anyone's debating about running EN Engage in a Cosmo Neos deck. But these are these 3 are non-negotiable if you want to access this through 2-card combos, through pure Cosmo Neos. If you want to play some hero variant that has the Vision package or Evil Hero package, you may not need these, but specifically for this build, for this type of build, you do need them. So 1 Divine, 1 Wake Up for that OTK, 1 Cosmo because, that's the namesake of the freaking deck, 1 Nebula because if you don't get to Cosmo, you can at least get to Nebula, negate one of your opponent's monsters, and then draw equal to the amount that they have on field. Shining Neos Wingman, because it's cool to have 2. You summon out 1, and then you can favor, or you can Miracle Fusion for 1, and then favor contact the second one if you can't get to that Cosmo Neos. 1 Infernal Rage. You only play the 1 because if you favor contact for it, it's gonna go back to the extra deck. So you could use it again potentially. 1 copy of Sunrise, 1 copy of Brave Neos, 1 copy of Aqua Neos. So the reason that we're playing these is you go Fusion Deployment, you flip that over in your extra deck, show your opponent, and then you can special summon out what's written on it. So we are playing Air Neos. Air Neos is more so an instant contact target where we can OTK if we've activated a Hero Lives. So like I said, I will show you guys how this works. 1 Grand Neos. Okay, so basically this is your Neos toolbox package here. I just want to explain this real quick before I move on. Each of these kind of has like a toolboxy effect that you don't really always need, but I'd rather have them and not need them than need them and not have them. So you have the Aqua Neos, which can discard a random card from your opponent. Dark Neos, target something on the field, negate it, and this is Compulsory Evacuation Device. I think it does target, but then it bounces something back. So this does target, but again, this is removal that is non-destruction, so that's kind of nice. A negate, and then a discard. So we are playing the 1 OG Flame Wingman in case we need to see it. Like if we need to get into something off of instant contact to fuse to make Shining Neos Wingman, we could do that. And then last but not least, 1 copy of Wonder Driver. This is going to allow you to reset your Miracle Fusion or reset your polymerization. Going after you went first, you lock your opponent down with Cosmo Neos, and then the turn goes to you. You activate his effect and then recover something. So what we're going to do real quick is I'm going to run through the bread and butter combo using only 2 cards and 2 cards only. I'm going to start with a copy of Ian Engage and Stratos. So first, we're going to make sure you can see that. We're going to normal summon the Stratos. The Stratos is going to search us for a copy of Elemental Hero Shadow Mist. After we add Shadow Mist, we're going to go Ian Engage. We're going to pitch the Mist. We're going to special summon out a copy of Elemental Hero Spirit of Neos. He is going to search for the Ian Wave. Actually, I lied. I want to make sure I do this correctly, so after this resolves, you automatically search a poly. I'm sorry, I'm just so used to running through this. I want to make sure that I play correctly, so for anybody picking up this deck, you understand. So after this resolves, you get the poly, and then you go Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2, or, whichever, depending on your hand, whichever is more important to resolve. Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2. You then get your Ian Wave off of him, and then off of Shadow Mist, you're going to search the Prisma. Now, the Ian Engage is going to go to Graveyard. You're going to activate the Ian Wave. You're then going to activate the Spirit of Neos to go back into deck and summon you out a Neos from deck. Where is my Neos? I apologize. Somebody is driving past my house, blasting base. So we get out into the Neos, and then we go polymerization to fuse these 2 together. And then we're going to make a copy of the Infernal Rage. On summon Infernal Rage, we'll search our trap. Okay, now there needs to be a series of things to activate here. Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2. Okay, and again, depending on what your hand looks like, you may want to alternate change. This might be better at Chain Link 1, this might be better at Chain Link 2. It really depends. You could have drawn the trap and not even have to activate this. But typically I go Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2, so that way we can chain block. The Ian Wave is going to special summon out a copy of the Neospatian Aqua Dolphin, and then he is going to get us a copy of our trap. So we grab the favorite contact. Next, we're going to activate the Aqua Dolphin. We're going to pitch the Prisma from our hand, knock something out of our opponent's hand, and then we're going to use Infernal Rage's effect to summon out the Sunrise, who will search our Miracle Fusion. And if you know where I'm going with this, you know where I'm going with this. If you're intrigued and want to, keep watching, totally. We get the Miracle Fusion. After we add it, we activate the Miracle Fusion, and we look in our graveyard, and we target. We need to have 5 targets. So we're going to take the Aqua Dolphin, the Shadow Mist, the Neos, the Prisma, and the Infernal Rage. There's a reason that we save the Stratos, and you'll see why in a moment. Oh, wait, no, I lied. We need to save the Prisma. So you could take the Sunrise. I guess it really, it really doesn't matter here which way you do it. But you take these 5, and then you summon out Elemental Hero Divine Neos. Divine Neos then activates its effect to banish a card from your graveyard. So we're going to banish the Prisma. And that is going to allow us to send another Neospatian in either Dark Panther or whichever one we didn't send early on. Early on, when we activated Ian Engage Neospace, we sent the Grand Mole. Forgot to mention that. We sent that off when we sent the Shadow Mist from hand. We send a Neospatian from deck off of Ian Engage. And then this is where we're getting our 3rd copy of a Neospatian. So we're using his effect to banish the Prisma to reveal a fusion monster to our opponent. So you could reveal the Nebula Neos, and then you could send either Grand Mole or Dark Panther. Okay, so now we have 3 Neospatians. We're going to set favorite contact, and we're going to allow our opponent to take their turn. During my opponent's standby phase, I'm going to flip up favorite contact. I'm going to target from my banished pile the Aqua, the Neos, and then from my graveyard the Dark Panther and the Grand Mole. These are all going to go back into my deck, and then we're going to summon out a copy of Cosmo Neos. So when this gets summoned out, okay, we need to be mindful of our chains here because we do want to activate the EN wave. Since we are shuffling stuff back into our deck, we get to special summon a elemental hero from our graveyard. So we're actually going to special summon the Stratos. Okay, so we need to make sure that we do this correctly so that way our opponent can't negate this, because this needs to be chain link 1, okay, chain link 2. So chain link 1, chain link 2. After this gets summoned out, chain link 1, chain link 2. So this is going to allow us to summon out the Stratos and get his effect, because this will be the last thing that happens on field, because Stratos is a win effect. And then Cosmo Neos is going to stop my opponent from being able to activate monsters or spells or even traps effects on the field this turn. They can activate things in their hand, they can activate things in their graveyard. However, they can't activate things on their field. So now we have Elemental Hero Stratos on our board, and he is going to go ahead and search us a copy of Spirit of Neos from our deck. Now, my opponent is going to attempt to take their turn. I don't know what my opponent's playing because this is all theoretical. I will say one thing. If you know you're going up against a trap build, somebody who's playing a ton of back row, go Nebula. Go Nebula over Cosmo. The reason that I'm saying to do that is because if your opponent sets 5 and passes, okay, obviously you don't know that right off the bat. Okay, so typically you're going to go Cosmo, but if you know that your opponent is playing a back row deck, that is the much better boss monster, because you're going to summon him out, okay? You're going to negate something on your opponent's field if they have anything face up, and then you're going to draw cards. So I just wanted to say that, but we're going to go back to our scenario where we summon out Cosmo Neos. Now, if my opponent attempts to attack, they attempt to do something, we just special out the Spirit of Neos, which I would assume my opponent would try to clear the Stratos, like just to do something. And this is typically how it does happen. I feel like my opponent will do something and then attempt to attack, but when we do that, we're going to go Spirit of Neos, and then we're going to search for a copy of the Instant Contact. Turn is going to shift back to us. We're going to go Spirit of Neos to shuffle him back into our deck, and then we're going to summon out the OG Neos. We are going to take it really doesn't matter here, I feel like, because as long as we have Neos on board, you know, we're kind of good. I guess, let me see what's in our graveyard. There's nothing there, so there's no monsters. So having said that, I think our best course of action, again, depending on what my opponent has, would be to take the Stratos and to take the Divine Neos. Or no, you know what? Yeah, you could actually leave Divine Neos on board. You could just take Neos and Stratos. Just that way, you know, you have a cool-looking boss monster. And then what you're going to do is you're going to summon out the Wonder Driver. Okay? You're going to summon out Wonder Driver right here. You're going to activate that copy of Instant Contact. Now, this comes full circle, and it's not just nostalgia, but we play the Flame Wingman. Now, since Flame Wingman was summoned right there, we get to reset our Miracle Fusion. Okay? That goes to grave. We're going to activate the Miracle Fusion. We're going to fuse together the Neos in our graveyard and the Flame Wingman here. These get banished. You then summon out the Shining Neos Wingman. Sadly, you have nothing but light, so you will get at least one pop. And I do believe that since we're fusing, okay, EN Wave is going to allow us a special out of Neospatian. Okay. And you can summon out either Grand Mole to bounce something back if my opponent, say, did set something up. If not, you're pretty clear here for an OTK. This is going to pop something. This can bounce something. So like I said, you're pretty clear here for an OTK. I do want to wrap this video up because it's been 25 minutes. Like I said, stay tuned for a combo tutorial, even though this was kind of like a mini one. Stay tuned for more 2-card combos so you can actually see more of how this deck works. But guys, it's the Cypher Slacker, and it's been real.